Alright everyone, I took a look at my channel. It's been a little about a month since I've done a cure for cancer reading, so here we are. My look at the soulmate cycle, an overview flyover from the Cancer angle, which is the hot spot, so this is technically an all signs reading, but it's for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for sure. That said, which you guys make up a big chunk of this soulmate cycle, I will tell you. That said, we've had some pretty interesting readings. Let's see where we go. It's a very unique reading I do. It's pretty powerful. All right, we pull 5 cards from the bottom after I shuffle. This is a pre-shuffle. We pull 5 cards from the bottom. That's the environmental energy around this person, with this energy attached to you. And believe me, it is. And then we pull 4 cards from the top of the deck, which we clarify, which is how they're behaving in that energy. Most of the time, the energy is, for example, cold, but they refuse to put a coat on. You know, we'll see. Maybe we're lining up here. I don't know. It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here, or you found Steve's Love Tarot, or you're here for a reason, this reading is timeless. They're all timeless. There's a whole playlist of these. All right? So, if you've been watching the readings, if you've been paying attention, this pre-shuffle should be no surprise to you. But I'm going to tell you something that I always say, either in these readings or in a Cancer reading, any of it. Okay, this soulmate cycle, very important. All right, we're going to talk about it. This is the surface energy. I said, give me a cure for Cancer reading. Let's do it, universe. That's what I said. That's how I put it out there. There's you. There's that Empress energy, but also tied to that are the feminine energies, which are coming up as Mercury starts to move into Pisces. We talked about that in the Mercury reading. But right now, I want to talk about one of the main angles on this energy. Energy is always in layers. So I'm going to talk about one of the layers in particular here that's very on the surface. That's you. The Empress, very attracted. That's your energy. Remember I said that. It's crossed by the 2 of Pentacles. Somebody here, I don't care how much fucking time has passed. I get people sometimes that laugh and say, oh, it's been 20 years, Steve. You know, I just watch you because you're funny. Nobody watches me because I'm funny. I'm not that funny. There's plenty of other stuff around that's funnier than me. Somebody's been holding on to your energy and they have never fucking let it go. It's there. It orbits them. Closer than Mercury orbits the sun. All right? It's closer. It's closer. Yeah. They're just holding on to it. Holding on to that energy. And it's building up a lot of heat. A lot of frustration. And underneath that, I'm going to tell you something. That hold that they have on your energy, it's beginning to slip away. They're beginning to lose their grip on it. And I think it's almost within this 8 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, and Empress. I feel a slight panic here as your energy starts to slip away. All right? And all that's left is a lot of frustration. Underneath that, there's your Knight of Swords. We talked about this card in particular, most recently in the Mercury reading. Mercury moving into Pisces. I said, somebody here is about to say something. I think this energy wants to come towards you for sure. I think somebody, though, here says things they can't take back. That energy from the Mercury reading is attached to that Knight of Swords. Underneath it is a Knight of Cups. There's a lot, but you can see they're contradictory. Right? This Knight is going toward that way, and this Knight is going toward that way. All right, so there may be some misunderstanding if you have communication with this person under this energy. And it's because of this little panic I feel here of your energy slipping away. They feel you slipping away. All right, that's because they haven't done anything. It's also because the world is bookending, read with the Empress here, your energy. Under this new, we're in a lot of new, there's a lot of newness to the energy around. If the energy were a car, it'd have a new car smell. You know that new car smell that you only get in new cars, unless you buy the scent and spray it around your old one. But there's a new cycle here. Somebody here is feeling you in a new light, but it's a whole lot of, to them anyway, oh, it might be too late. All right? So there's a frantic communication energy here where the intention is love, but the words, why did I say that? Kind of a thing like that, right? All right, okay. I'd go further if you want, but we shouldn't go too much deeper in surface energy. Underneath the world is the the way they envision you, 10 Cups, yeah, they got some fairy ideal. They dream about it, they think about it while they hold on to your energy, and there's 4 of Wands. We could say somebody wants to marry you, but that would be a bit dramatic. It's just more a case of somebody under this new energy. It seems like a great idea to go bang the Empress. You know, I mean, it's just basically what it says. All right, that's just the surface energy. Let's give the deck a shuffle. Remember, 5 cards from the bottom is our environmental energy. 4 cards from the top that we clarify is how they're behaving in it. Let's find out. It's a very interesting pre-shuffle, I will tell you that. But it kind of cracks me up a little bit. That's what happened, because I know energy. I know how it works, or not fully. I haven't figured it all out yet. I'm not done in this lifetime. But what I've figured out so far is when you hold on to someone's energy and don't do anything with it, there's a lot of frustration that builds up. You can go to crazy town doing that kind of thing, you know. All right, that's why you should always, and I tell you guys, always tell people how you feel. Even if it makes the other person uncomfortable, it still feels good. It's still a release for you. All right. Anyway, you do what you want to do. All right, let's go. Let's shuffle the deck. Give me a cure for Cancer reading, universe. It's been a month. It's too long. I should really be doing these every couple of weeks. I apologize. I've been busy. I've got a lot of readings, a lot of astrology pulling on things and all kinds of stuff. It's just what it is. All right, let's go. 5 cards from the bottom. We begin the environmental energy with an Ace of Cups. And I would love to say it's flowing. I know in the picture it is, but it's really sitting in there and it's gotten toxic. A little bit of still water. Again, that's that frustration mixed with panic that I feel as your energy sort of is beginning to slip away. It is, because if you don't do anything with it in this energy, I've said, and when I wrote about this year in particular, when I wrote way back in my blog about the 1212 portal, I said it's windy energy. And we're coming into a very windy year. I said that. The first quarter of the year in particular, the energy is windy. It blows things very far. It'll blow things out. That's why your energy's slipping away, because of that wind, right? Like trying to hold on to your hat in a wind. Shouldn't be a surprise. 3 Swords is the next environmental energy. Ace of Pentacles down the middle. Yeah, it looks like a good idea to come talk to you. This person, I said this in the Mercury reading, they slow on the uptake. Okay, this is not the valedictorian of the class. They're very slow on the uptake. You know, special needs as far as emotional learning. King of Cups is the next one out. And there you go. One of the cards that ends the separation phase of the soulmate cycle. Here's the other one. Both of them in the environmental energy, the 5 of Cups. And I'll just show you the 6th card because it's there. You see it anyway. It's not really part of it, but it's sort of on the back side. It's the underlaying energy. It's the 7 of Pentacles, divine timing. It's a harvest time energy. Somebody here feels like it's time to do something. Holding on to your energy isn't working. It's grown toxic. It makes the pain grow stronger. They're slow on the uptake. Somebody here is holding on to a lot of feelings, a lot. And right now, this 5 of Cups, bookends, is red with the Ace of Cups. And I said, it's become toxic. Look at it. That's a pretty toxic scene, isn't it? I wouldn't want to breathe that air. I don't know what's going on there. There's a lot of regret here. There's a lot of sadness here. I pick up on that. There's a lot of pain here. A lot. A lot. Okay? All because this cup hasn't been allowed to flow. I think under certain energies, it's easy to hold on to someone's energy and do nothing with it. These current energies are not those energies. All right? The reading's on the flip right here. So how are they behaving in this? I mean, this should bring them right to you, right? I mean, it should. We saw it with the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups up in the pre-shuffle. But they're going in opposite directions, unfortunately. But anyway, let's take a look. How are they behaving in this energy? 4 cards. 8 of Pentacles. Trying to distract themselves from it. Of course. Right? Of course. But we talked about that. Didn't we get an 8 of Pentacles somewhere in the energy of your connection? They're trying to distract themselves from truths and things like that. Wasn't that the Mercury reading? I should have been. If it wasn't, it was the one where the devil came out in your connection. I will tell you that. 7 of Cups. Okay. All right. What's crossing the 7 of Cups? The 4 of Pentacles. It's sort of an energy of these two cross right there in the middle, and the next card is red with the 8 of Pentacles. This 4 of Pentacles is holding back. Somebody's trying to avoid things and not make a decision here, not try to figure out. They did juggling, right? The problem with juggling is the more things you juggle, the harder it gets, right? It's not just two things now. The pressure is building. They're trying to juggle 7 cups. All right, they don't know how to come in, so if they don't know how to do it, well, I guess I'm just not going to do it. That's sort of the attitude. This is pretty hard to ignore with both cards that end the separation phase. There's a lot of sadness and pain here. They're a little slow on the emotional uptake. They're a little slow to figure out that you don't drink the still water. You need to have water flowing. Emotions need to flow. This ties with what I told you earlier. I don't say anything that's not part of the energy. You always tell people how you feel. You keep this cup flowing. Right? All right. Okay. What's red? A little slow to figure out you don't drink. How many times you going to drink the still water and get sick before you figure out, oh, maybe I need to drink from the flowy part? How about that? What's red with the 8 of Pentacles here? King of Wands. Stubborn. It's just a stubborn ego. It's just there. It's the Burger King. Gotta have it their way. Somebody here, the Burger King, the King of Wands, this ego energy, if you will, narcissists, people like that, they always go for low-hanging fruit. They try to, because they don't want rejection, because rejection hurts their precious ego. So they go for ones they know they can get. You know, picking off the herd, the slow one in the back, rather than going for the really good one, taking a chance at it. It's kind of what I've got here. I've got somebody who, well, they feel you slipping away. Well, maybe that's a good thing. The problem is, all the while, this 3 of Swords is growing very strong. I can feel, this card is actually moving, okay? Like, in the energy, everything is very fluid and flowing here. So this is an important card. All right, let's clarify. Let's see. I did tell you, probably much to the chagrin of some of the people watching, that, I didn't pick up a lot of communication during Mercury's transit through Pisces, which is sort of the era that we're entering as I pull this reading. I do think on their side they're going to be saying some things they can't take back, and I do think that might work to your advantage. Somebody here is focused on something else, but that something else that they're focused on is more based in fear of having to do something than it is in, taking care of business on their side, per se. At least as I pull this. Let's go. Let's clarify. We're going to talk to the Light Seer, which has a 7 of Pentacles at the bottom. There's a 7 of Pentacles. It was card 6. So we picking it up from card 6, all right, which I showed you. 8 of Pentacles. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Why is the 8 of Pentacles here? There's a selfishness here too, okay? There's a lot of selfishness energy here. I don't know. It's selfish to hold on to someone's energy and not do anything with it. There's a lot of love in these connections. I know it because of this card, right? We don't feel 3 swords for people we don't care about, right? There's a lot here. There's someone here trying to protect their precious ego. I think that's going to fall on their head. I think. We'll see. All right. 8 of Pentacles. Why is it here? Pay attention to that Mercury reading. It's a very important reading. I know it's not the usual Mercury reading you're going to get from people. Mercury in Pisces is all roses. It's like a 10 of Cups energy. It's all roses and rain. I know, but that's not the aspect that's reflecting right now. And I always give you guys the energy as it is, not as we wish it would be, or what brings in more views. All right, here we go. 8 of Pentacles. I like to think people appreciate it. That being said, it's crossed by judgment. Yeah, good luck. God, source, the universe. The environmental energy around them trying to distract themselves from you is judgment. Overall, in the environmental energy, everything is pushing toward a resurrection. There's more to come. They want a second chance. It's just, they know how they feel. They're just trying to shut it down because it's scary to actually do something. It's easy to hold on to someone's energy and not do anything with it. That's easy. It's easy not to show up to the job interview you're nervous about. That's the easy way. You get halfway there, you turn the car around, you feel pretty good for a moment. At least that's off my plate. That's the pansy way out, isn't it? Kind of a pussy thing to do. That's kind of what I've got here. I don't joke about anything that's not in the energy. I got somebody being a little bit of a puss. A little bit afraid of their little ego here. Okay. That's going to bite you in this energy, Mr. King of Wands. What's on top? Anxiety. 9 swords. You keeping them up at night. Oh, I bet. The environmental energy, you don't, what did I say in the Mercury reading about this? I said it's God's source, the universe itself. It's Archangel Gabriel energy, but we often say that here. I say you don't turn down, it's the environmental energy. You don't turn down an invite to God's party or the universe's party, right? You could turn down your friend Rhonda. Who fucking cares? Whatever, I ain't going. But you don't turn down an invite here. And that's what happens. They try to, during the day, they're probably fine. At night, though, different story. Way, way different story. Why are we off camera here? What is happening? All right. Nine of Swords, why is it here? I prepped the card. I didn't look. Seven of Cups. That's our lead-in card to over here. Which is a Seven of Cups. Let me move these over. I'm like way left today. I don't know what's going on. All right. Again, at night they think, well, maybe I can. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Well, maybe I can. It's driving them crazy. What did I say in the Mercury reading? Your connection is eating at them. Yeah, definitely. It's much easier just to chicken out. There's a lot of chickening out here. It's because of ego. Anyway, let's talk about it then. Let's go into the Seven of Cups. Why is the Seven of Cups here? And then we'll pull separately on the fear. That ought to be interesting, but I already know what that is. They're afraid of getting hurt. It's easy to hold on to your energy. Oh, what a great person I met. Oh, wonderful. All those feelings. It's great. They can dream about it. They can whatever. Yeah, it almost, it's almost like you're their energetic security blanket in a way that allows them to keep going in their life. But that's starting to bite them in the ass at this point. You know, because the Ace of Cups has grown a little bit toxic. The still water, it's not flowing. It wants to flow. And when it doesn't flow, it fuels this up. All right. Seven Cups. Why is it here? In this context. Why is it here? Tell me about. Okay. All right. It's that Ace of Wands that keeps flaring up and blowing out. Okay? This reminds me, this is like someone that like quit smoking, for example, right? And they're having a stressful day, so they grab one and they got their little matches outside. They light the match, and before they light it, they blow out the match. They're like, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. And they keep blowing out the match like that. That's what they're doing. That's all they're doing. They're avoiding the inevitable. Once you get to that point, that son of a bitch is going to light that damn thing at some point. They'll come back out later and do it. Once you get to that point, it's pretty tricky, right? First of all, if they quit, why the fuck do they have some around in the first place, right? That's very telling, isn't it? So, at the end of the day, someone's holding on to your energy, and they know that they got to do something with it at some point because of this, toxic, and this. This is all in the environmental energy. They're holding on to a lot, and the tide is coming in. And the shell may or may not float. I don't know. But there's a lot of sadness and regret here. Plus, this card tells me in their environment, their current 3 cups that they're so great and they stuck with for you are dead, done. They got holes in them. They're shitty. They're terrible. And on top of all that, they feel your energy slipping away. Slow on the uptake. I would have figured out all this long ago, and I'm sure most of you would have too, right? Well, I need to say something. I need to do something. We'll get to the precious ego in a minute. But I'm anxious to pull on the fear. What's on top here? 3 of Cups. Overly emotional right now. Too much. The feminine energy is coming up. There's 2 energies here, so before you go, well, wouldn't that be a third party? It's not always a third party. All right, I know a lot of readers do that. Every time they throw that card, there's a third party. That's impossible. Me as an energy reader, I know that's not always a third party. It's a third party this time, though. I will tell you that. But first, I'm going to tell you what I told you in the Mercury reading. The feminine energies are up. They don't know how to handle all that. You do. The DM side does not know how to handle it when the emotional energies are this high. Now, also, there's a third energy that's just easier to give to. Could be their life, you know, picking the gold one like always. It could be a spouse. It could be someone they're with, whatever. That's how they talk themselves out of it. That's how they justify it. I mean, it's easier just to what? It's the age-old story of why people stay in bad relationships, because it's easier. It's the #1 answer, right? They cheat on you. They throw shit at you. They swear at you, they take off for days. Why do you stay with this person? Well, it's just easier, you know, I don't want to put myself out there. People are fucking excuse machines. It's crazy. The universe should start charging $100 for every excuse. I think people would wake up then, right? All right, let's go. Why is the Three of Cups here? Yeah, the Five of Pentacles. Emotions are high. Look, that's the primary energy there. Yeah, I mean, that's the cop-out, the third party. Third energy, the way they live their life, a spouse, a relationship. But the main energy here is just look at the girl. Never mind Five Pentacles, although it does mean left out in the cold kind of thing. But look, they're very emotional right now. And the moment they shut you down and say, oh, I'm just going to pick the gold one again, right? We'll look at this Seven Cups. This is a Seven Cups under here. We'll look at this one for the picture perspective. The moment he says, I will just pick a gold one like I always do, keep giving to whatever, this happens. They feel left out. They feel wrong. This is why they hold on to your energy. They just hold on to it. They've been holding on to it. And I don't care how much time has passed. I don't want to hear another person tell me, well, it's been 20 years. There is no time in the energy. Our clocks, our calendars. These connections are eternal. They're timeless. You've been connected with most of the soulmate connections in this particular cycle. It's a very powerful cycle. Have been connected for a dozen lifetimes or more. Everyone in this cycle, if you're part of this cycle, and some people are mistaken whether they are or not, but most of you, if you're here, you've been here a while, you're part of this cycle, especially if you've learned something and grown, right, from it, are old souls. And you know you're an old soul. You've probably said that to people at some point in your life. So right there, you know, these are long time. 20 years doesn't mean anything. They're going to remember you at the rest home when they're 90s. They're going to be telling stories, boring everybody to death about, well, I ran from this soulmate a long time ago, and boring the crap out of all the other old people. Okay? So yeah, fine. So let's pull on the fear. Let's isolate the fear. Okay? Let's do it. Tell me about the fear. What the fuck is this person afraid of? What is so scary about picking the red one? And by the way, you want some symbolism, I'll give it to you. She wearing red, right? That's what keeps them up at night. You picking the red one. You're the red one. You're the different. Right? So, straight up. I'd just like to give you clarity, or clarity, some insight into how the energy's reflecting. The cards are just pictures for you. I just read the energy. That's all. You know, the cards are mediums. But if I could show you some things, I will. So it makes more sense. No matter how far I move to the right, the cards are still, that card just still wants to be off the table. Or off camera. What does that tell us? That card, that they don't like this. They don't want to think about that. They don't like being woken up in the night. Right? That tells us something too. All right, here we go. There we go. That was spirit. That wasn't me. All right, Four of Pentacles. Fear, keeping them stuck. Why is the fear? Tell me about the fear. Let's isolate the fear here. Let's do it. Come on. Come on. How? They're afraid of Sarah Gilbert, maybe. I don't know. Two of Swords crossing this. It's an energy of with the Two of Swords in the environment around the fear. It's an energy of someone who's you have those people that make pros and cons lists and things like that. So someone doing that a little too much. So it's a sign of overthinking. It's a sign, well, if I do it, then if I choose the red one, then this might happen. I might get. But it all ties to, I believe, because the King of Wands is here, rejection. What's on top? Six of Cups. They're afraid of what happened in the past with you. I'm just going to say it. Now, before you say, nothing happened, Steve. Ha! I got him. Hold on a minute. These are soul connection. What part of soul connection do you not understand? Deep soul connection. Deep referring to how many lifetimes it goes back, in my vernacular, when I use it. That being said, it might be something they did. They're afraid of confronting you with what they did, what happened in the past with you. That might be an energy that they don't even understand because it's coming in from a past life, something they did to you. Maybe they just ran from you. You never even talked to them. They just took off. Nothing really happened, Steve. Well, they took off for a reason. They took off probably because they're a coward. They're afraid to confront some kind of something that happened. If it's past life, you can't place it. Past life energy comes to us as nostalgia, for example, that we can't place, right? Nostalgia we can't place. You go somewhere and it reminds you of something. Yet you've never been there and you've never seen anything like it. Why does this remind me of something? Right? Like that. You just can't place it. All right. Usually with nostalgia you can place it if it's this lifetime. Usually. All right. Why is 6 of Cups here? Knight of Wands. Yeah, they'd rather not look at it. It's saying that this what they did in the past to you, either a past life or this life, was based purely on them being impulsive and emotionally immature. Okay? So, that's it. This is someone here who is afraid to drink from the flowing water. And what they're slow to learn, grandma on the freeway at 15 miles an hour, holding up traffic for miles, traffic being all of you watching readings and me having to swim in this shit to give the readings. What they're slow to learn is this, right here. When you don't tell someone how you feel, boom, 3 swords. Again, that's a flowing 3. The 3 of swords is flowing, the Ace of Cups is not. Okay, so I know they're feeling that. And I know here too. And it's showing them some things. It's showing them that the gold ones are shit. I should pick the red one. But they don't want to look at that. Right? They don't want to look at it. They're slow to learn their karmic debt of vulnerability. Now let's talk about the ego. Okay, King of Wands. Why is it here? Technically in this reading, this is the final outcome. This could be communication. The King of Wands can be someone taking passionate action towards you on a high level. It can be. Is it? We have to look at context. You got a chicken shit here. You know, a little bit. Afraid of what they feel. Not necessarily afraid of you. Afraid of confronting what might happen, what happened in the past. This is a girl on this card here who's afraid to grow up. Right? Little Peter Pan syndrome, if you will. I would say that's my party girl, the Page of Wands, big sister. She a little long in the tooth to still be going to these wild parties where someone has the opportunity to set fire to a bongo. Okay? If you're this age, 40s, whatever, you're still going to parties where somebody might set fire to a bongo, okay, it might be time to take a look at yourself a little bit anyway, just a little bit. All right? I mean, I used to go to parties like that, but I pretty much ended that around 27, 28, as I started pushing 30. All right, here we go. Not that I didn't go to any in my 30s, they just weren't as fun anymore. You know, at some point, it's just not as fun to wake up in a pool of your own vomit. Why is the King of Wands here? I'm still shuffling. I'm running out of shit to tell you. All right, here we go. The worst vomit to wake up in, by the way, is pizza. And nobody can disagree. It is the worst. It's horrifying. It's like a horror movie start that way. Pizza vomit. All right, let's go. The King of Wands. Ego, right? Let me take this in context because I'm looking at what the bottom card is. I don't know if you saw it or not, but... So we've got a King of Wands who's afraid of getting their ego hurt, would love to just push all this aside. Right? Tell themselves that. All of it is fighting a losing battle because it's crossed by the 7 of Swords, sneaky deaky away. Backing up what I said about the ego, they'd love to just sneak away. But it's mainly an energy of bullshit. It's mainly an energy of getting caught. And I'm really drawn here. A little message from the universe, something about the upcoming full moon is going to force them in the middle of the fucking night to confront this very desire to just run away from this. They want to run away. You see it here. Whatever happened with you in the past, they want to run away from it. Like a child, right? It's all bullshit, but I think something happens under the full moon we have coming up, and I'll be pulling on that maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, one of the two. What's on top? We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. What did I say? What did I just say? Rewind. It's all going to fall on their head because it's bullshit. Yeah, it is. Something happens here. This behavior, this King of Wands behavior comes and bites them. I think it has a lot to do with this flowing 3 of Swords. It has a lot to do with what I said in recent readings. as well. It has a lot to do with the Mercury energy in particular, I think, as well, because I think they're going to say some things they can't take back on their side. And I jokingly said in the Mercury reading, but I'm kind of seeing it here, I jokingly said they may come towards you just because you're the only one left. You're the only friend they might have left at the end of it when the dust starts settling. Why is the Tower here? 9 of Cups. Everything I just said just got backed up. It's almost like at some point they get found out. And I've said a couple of things in the Mercury reading which jive here. One thing I said in passing, it may have been in the extended, but this energy came back. This is especially true if, well, I guess it doesn't matter if they're single or in a relationship, but we'll use the example as if they're in a relationship. They may just self-realize it if they're single, but feelings for you are going to be hard to hide. I think something comes to light here. Somebody finds something out, okay, on their side. It's coming up again. It may have been in the unplanned reading I did where that came up. They're going to come to some kind of deception, some kind of bullshit's going to come to the surface. It has a little bit to do around that full moon. But yeah, I think somebody here has no choice. She's got no choice but to leap toward those 9 cups. And they're going to go for it, you know. It's not that you're not their 9 of Cups. You are. Right? But somebody, what the universe is saying is something's going to happen. Some kind of bullshit gets found out, and somebody here has no choice but to pick the red one. A lot of times that happens in life. Think about it. You know, everything is energy and everything is connected. So that's why we can do analogies and things like that to talk about energy. Even weather is energy. We can use weather as an analogy to talk about energy. But in this case here, it's one of those cases where they're making a mistake here. Because it's, especially with the on not flowing Ace of Cups and the flowing 3 of Cups of pain and the regret and all of that. It's one of those cases in a life situation where it's better to make the choice when you can make the choice, because at some point the choice gets made for you, right? It's like quitting a bad habit, like smoking or drinking. It's better to do it on your own when you're as young as possible, rather than have the doctors tell you, well, it's a little late, but you might want to stop. At that point, you kind of have to stop. You follow? It's a bit like what's happening here. The universe is saying, it'd be wise if they just confronted this and came and picked the red one and come and talk to you, because at some point, and we saw it with the World up in the pre-shuffle, the World card, the most powerful card I can pull, we do not control that in any way. At some point, the choice is going to be made for them. Something's going to get found out. A tower's going to fall on their head. And they got no choice but to take that leap, take that jump. All right? Wow. Let's see if there's anything else. That's what I got. Let's see if there's anything. And it jives with all my readings that have led up to this. All that energy is here. And played out on the table almost perfectly in the cards for you. I want you to take a good look at that. That's what happens when you hold on to someone's energy. These 2 cards right here. Don't hold on to it. You release the energy by expressing your feelings, keeping the emotion flowing. Somebody here is not doing that. The moment they try to decide, well, I'm just going to keep picking the gold ones, a lot of pain happens. It's a lot. This 5 of Pentacles is feedbacking off of this 3 of Swords like a motherfucker, and this 3 of Swords is feedbacking off of that 5 of Cups, which feedbacks back over here with the Ace of Cups. I mean, they're just slow on the emotional uptake. I think they were in past lifetimes too. I think they were. I think you've done this to each other in at least a few lifetimes. Okay? I think so. I think this is old hat for a lot of you DFs. You know, you've been through it. That's why you got through it. Some of you got through it much easier than others. You know, feels like a repeat, you know, sort of a thing. All right, anyway, like watching a repeat TV show, you know what's going to happen, right? All right, here we go. Let's see what else the universe wants to tell you. Give me 1 card and a crossing card. What do you want to tell everybody before I go? What do you want to tell everybody? A message for my viewers. No, I don't want to hear any more about this shit. Okay? Just give me something. Give me something for the viewer. I'm laughing. King of Pentacles, crossed by the 3 of Cups. It's a celebration energy off the 3 of Cups. There's also, well, I'll tell you there's 2 things attached to this for you. I'll tell you both. It's a 3 of Cups again with a 3rd energy attached to it and just a general energy of celebration. First of all, the first message for you is everything's going to be fine. You come out smelling like a rose here on the DF side. You reflect in my readings already, including this reading as Empress, sometimes Queen of Pentacles, sometimes lately Queen of Cups. You guys are fine. Everything works out fine for you guys in the end. This side over here, decisions are going to be forced here. You know, either they make it or it gets made for them. Either way, all karmic debt is collected. It's the law of karma. Okay, and they don't seem to understand that. They're a little slow on the uptake. The other energy here, the other message for you here is there is a third energy. There is another soulmate in your orbit that does not belong to this fucker. Okay? That is in your orbit. And it is a rock solid energy. We've been picking up on it for a while. I know. We used to call it back in the singles reads. It's that same energy, the brown dwarf, right? Which is it's a star. It's a type of star that's hard to see because it's very dark. There's a theory that it's way out beyond Pluto and circles. It's part of our solar system. It's a sister star to our sun, as most stars in the solar system are part of a binary system, meaning there's a second star. It's a theory, and that's why I called that particular soulmate the brown dwarf. Because it's hard. I can feel it there, but I can't see it in my telescope, sort of a thing. That being said, and we can mathematically and things like that, and the way the planets interact, we can also pick up on it. There's some sort of Neptune-sized object that's out beyond Pluto. You know, at least that's the way the planets interact. Anyway, astronomy aside, don't even get me going. I should do a whole channel. There is a soulmate out there. It takes a while for these sometimes to come in. So for some of you, that already came in. You've already met that person. But others of you, it is still there. These are when they're outlying, they're very slow moving. But it is there. The universe assures me that it's there. There's another energy attached to you. It mostly translates for you here in the 3D, in your life, in your body, as in due time you will cross paths with this person, right? By the clocks, right? Or calendars. So, anyway, that's the final message to you. Over here, there's a decision being forced very soon. I think it has some energy around the Virgo full moon, which I'll be pulling on in the next couple of days. We'll see if that pops in, okay? It should be a very interesting full moon reading. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. If you like this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate all the subscribers, everybody who shares, and everybody who watches. What is fueling this Three of Cups? Page of Pentacles. Soon you'll see. It backs up what I just said. It's a student, right? They learn. You will learn, I think, fairly quickly, fairly soon, that you're going to be okay. Everything's going to stabilize and work out fine. And also, there's a rock solid with their shit together soulmate. They might be taking care of business on their side. You know, we pick up on new soulmates all the time. Anything on the DM side has to take care of business before your energies can align. And we talked about that a little bit in the Mercury reading, I think. All right? That's your reading. Good luck.